Hey James, sorry to bother you while you're at work. I was just wondering, were you planning on coming home tonight, or will you stay at the office again? I'm pretty close to passing out as things stand, so I was thinking about going to bed soon. I understand you're probably busy at work, but if you could just shoot me a quick text letting me know, I'd appreciate it. I just need to know whether I should put on the door chain or not.
Nah, not gonna be home tonight. I'd think I wouldn't have to tell you that at this point. You know how crazy things have been around here lately.
Don't you remember what happened a few weeks ago? You were out past midnight, so I chained up the door. But then you came home at like 1 a.m. and got ticked off at me for the door being locked.
Tell me, Megan, did I tell you I wasn't coming home that day? No, I didn't.
I tried to text you and ask if you were coming, but you didn't respond. I figured you had fallen asleep at your desk or something. You've heard all...
Then you should have texted me sooner. Plus, really, a freaking door chain? What's the point in using that thing anyway?
You've heard all the reports of break-ins in the area lately, haven't you? The house 3 doors down from us got robbed last month. And just last week, our neighbors across the street had their car windows smashed.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have left such an expensive car in the driveway. Unlike them, we don't have anything worth stealing. You're getting way too worried about this. You should knock off watching all those true crime podcasts. They're infecting your brain.
But those are really, really interesting.
Is it worth the excitement if it's making you paranoid? Plus, thieves aren't idiots, Megan. They don't try to break into a house when someone's home. That's an easy way to get shot. And in the worst case scenario where someone does break in, just give them whatever they want. Then they'll be on their way and you can go back to sleep.
You have got to be kidding me. You honestly think they'll be satisfied with that?
What? Do you think they'll want something else from you? Just give that to them too.
Don't you dare joke about that.
Oh, lighten up. It's not gonna happen. Anyway, if that's what they're after, some lousy door chain isn't gonna stop them. It's pointless. Plus, our house is the oldest one on the block. Why would any thief avoid all the nice houses just to rob ours?
Well, I'm glad at least one of us is confident in my safety.
Oh, one more thing. I'll be out of town on business next week. I need you to get my suitcase all packed up for me.
How long will you be gone?
3 days or so, maybe 4. I'll only need my suit for 1 day, though, so pack 1 suit and 3 days' worth of street clothes.
Really? That's odd for a business trip.
We're gonna do some sightseeing on Saturday. There's no way I'm gonna wear my suit outside of the office.
All right, well, I'll work on getting that all put together over the next few days then. Oh, hey, one more thing. Your mom called today. She wanted to know if you were planning on coming to the family dinner next month. She said she's been trying to get a response from you for a while, but you haven't answered any of her calls or texts.
Why do I have to handle every little thing by myself? I'm busy, you're not. Tell her I'm still thinking about it.
James, don't you get it? She doesn't want to hear it from me. She wants to talk to you. You're her son, and she misses you.
Hey, whatever. I'll send her a text sometime in the next few days. Will that make you happy?
It's not about making me happy. And what about that dinner? Are you gonna go?
Can't you just go by yourself?
What? You want me to go alone?
Self. As the man of the house, I hereby designate you as our family's representative. There, it's official. I'm gonna be really busy at work next month. I doubt I'll be able to make it.
Come on, James. How many times is this now that I've had to go and visit your parents all by myself? Why is it that I'm visiting your parents more than you are? And why are you almost never at home lately? Something's going on, James, and I don't like it at all. It's starting to feel like we're less of a married couple and more just roommate.
Oh my God, Megan, tell it to your therapist. What do you think this is, the 1960s? This is just how marriages work these days.
I don't care how other marriages work, I care about ours.
Here's how our marriage works. I make all the money, you work some lousy part-time job, so you have more free time. You can use that free time to take care of stuff around the house and keep my parents off my back. Got it? I'm going back to work now. Don't text me anymore. I won't answer. For God's sake, Megan, I sure hope you're enjoying yourself in that hospital room getting waited on by nurses, because it sure does suck having to pack my own freaking suitcase. Some housewife you are.
I am not enjoying the constant pain and inability to walk by myself, thank you for asking. Seriously, you think I wanted to be hospitalized?
If you just packed my suitcase right away when I told you to, I wouldn't have to do it myself right now.
I think the circumstances call for a teensy bit more understanding on your part. I walked out of the house and an old woman was being robbed right before my eyes. Was I supposed to just abandon her? You have no idea what that thief was prepared to do to her. I watched him punch her once and he was probably prepared to do it again, or worse.
Don't make yourself out to be some kind of hero. You were pathetic. You tried to intervene, he pushed you down, and he still got away. Some help you were.
Well, excuse me if I didn't want to see an old woman murdered in broad daylight.
You shouldn't have gotten involved. I don't care about some old woman getting robbed. Old women get robbed all around the world every day. That's not my problem. What is my problem is you not being able to do the housework.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. You have to take care of yourself for a change.
Excuse me? What's that supposed to mean?
Every single day of the week, I'm either going to my part-time job, doing the housework, or both. Plus, I'm constantly going to your parents' house to visit them because you never do it. And what are you contributing to this relationship, James? In all the time I've been in the hospital, you haven't even come to see me once.
I text you plenty.
Yeah, only when you feel like complaining about me not being around to work as your maid.
Don't complain to me about how little housework I do. I'm too busy with real work.
Are you too busy to be a decent husband to your wife who, may I remind you, is in the hospital right now with a broken leg?
You! All you ever think about is you! What about me? Without you around, I have no one to fix me dinner, and you would not believe the pile of laundry over here that you need to wash. You're over there in the hospital laying around all day while I have to take care of everything. So I don't want to hear any complaints out of you. Who do you think is gonna pay for your hospital bill anyway?
I bring in income while doing all the housework.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you could afford to pay for your ambulance ride and multi-day hospital stay on your minimum wage job.
How can you be talking like this to your own wife?
God damn it, this sucks! Why couldn't you have gotten hit by a car or something?
What kind of question is that?
Duh! If you got hit by a car, we could have sued the driver. We'd get your hospital bills paid for and pain and suffering damages. But since you failed to stop the thief from getting away, we have no one to sue.
Is money really what's important to you right now?
Since you had to go and play Wonder Woman, I'm on the hook for a massive hospital bill and have to do my job and do all the housework. What did you get out of saving that woman anyway? Money? Jewelry? Oh, wait, you got nothing! You have no idea how much I'm going through because of you!
Oh, you poor, poor thing.
Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna be out of town for a while. Don't bother messaging me, I'll be too busy to answer. Hurry up and get that leg of yours fixed. You have a ton of work to do around here. As soon as you get home, start doing the laundry. I'm running low on shirts. Oh, for the love of God, Megan, when are you getting released from the hospital? Next month? You cannot be serious. What on earth is taking so long?
They're doctors, James, not miracle workers. It was a really bad fracture. They had to operate and everything. They're not just going to kick me right from the operating table out onto the street.
That's it. I have had it. I know this may not be the best timing with you in the hospital and all, but I've made up my mind. I want to get divorced.
What?
You've become completely useless to me. What good is a housewife who's never in the house? When we got married, I thought I was getting a woman capable of cooking and cleaning. You know, everything I need you to do for me. But now you're just dead weight.
I cannot believe what you're saying to me.
Believe it or not, this is real, Megan. It's not like you're gonna go back to normal anytime soon either. Even after you get home, you're gonna have to use a wheelchair or crutches or something, right?
I mean, for a while, yeah, and I'll need to go to physical therapy too. But it's not like I'm gonna be bedridden or anything.
Yeah, so it's exactly what I thought. You're gonna be completely useless to me for the foreseeable future. I'm not waiting around that long. We're through. I'll pack up your stuff for you. Should I send it to your parents' house?
This is ridiculous, James. You won't even wait until I'm out of the hospital to divorce me?
With you stuck in the hospital, it'll be way easier to avoid dealing with you. I want to get everything taken care of before your release.
James, fine, whatever. Go ahead and send my stuff to my parents' house.
I'll send it cash on delivery. I'm not paying for shipping. And let me make one thing perfectly clear. I don't want to hear you playing the victim, got it? This divorce is 100% your fault. Who chose to help that old woman? You. Who got hurt? You. Who can't fulfill her marital duties anymore? You. Think about it this way. What would any company do to an employee who stopped doing their job? They'd fire them, right? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm firing you as my wife.
You know, that analogy actually makes a lot of sense, James. It explains exactly why you're getting fired, too. You're right. I can't imagine many companies would keep employees on payroll when they're both incompetent and sleeping with their female subordinate.
Wait. What are you talking about?
Oh, come on, James. Don't play dumb with me. You arranged for a fake business trip with a client that doesn't exist, so you could have a vacation with your mistress on the company's dime.
Out. How?
How did I find out you were having an affair? Well, this may come as a surprise, but I've been keeping tabs on you for quite some time now.
But there's no way you could be watching me. You're in the hospital. Even if you weren't, I think I'd notice someone in a freaking wheelchair following me around.
I'm not doing it personally, you moron. I hired a private detective.
No way. That's impossible. Private detectives cost a ton of money, and you don't have any. How could someone working for minimum wage afford something like that? You're bluffing, aren't you? Trying to get me to admit to something. Well, it's not gonna work. I admit nothing.
You remember the old woman I rescued from the thief? It turns out she was very, very wealthy. And when I saved her that night, she told me she wanted to give me a token of her gratitude. That token was a wad of cash as big around as my arm. I tried to refuse at first, but she insisted that she wanted to do something to repay me. She said that she could tell from the look on my face that I was troubled about something and asked me what was going on. That's when I told her that I suspected that my husband was cheating on me. She paused for a second, then said, "Well, I know just the person to talk to about that." So she hired the single best private detective in the city to check you out for me.
Thing. Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I have the receipts, James.
Oh. I had no idea you were even suspicious of me.
How stupid do you think I am? Of course I was suspicious. You all of a sudden started staying at the office overnight and going on business trips, both things you never used to do. But that wasn't even the biggest clue for me. You should clean out your pockets before putting them in the wash. I found receipts for expensive lingerie that's way too small for me. Also, remember that I'm the person who pays your credit card bills for you? You've spent about $500 over the last month at the same pay-by-the-hour motel. After I found that out, I started putting your clothes through the wash twice. I don't want whatever diseases you picked up in that place.
Hold on. Why did you say I'm getting fired? Oh no. Don't tell me. You didn't tell my company about this, did you?
No, I didn't tell them a thing. I didn't have to. There's something else about the woman I saved that I think you should know. You and her son are acquainted.
Wait, we are? How?
I'm sure you've run into each other a few times at your office.
How? Who is he?
He's the company's CEO.
What?
You thought you had the perfect plan, didn't you? You were going to get rid of me and be free to start a happy new life with your mistress/subordinate. Well, I'm very sorry to say that your plans are going to change a bit. You can still be together, but you're both going to be unemployed very soon.
What? No, this can't be happening. Tell me this is just a prank, Megan. Tell me I'm not really getting fired.
Unfortunately for you, this is not a prank. You're going down, James. It's your choice to believe it or not, though. You'll find out that I'm telling the truth sooner or later. I imagine your boss will be calling you into his office for a little chat sometime in the near future.
Fired? I still think you're bluffing. You were talking a big game about having receipts, but you haven't shown any. I'm still not admitting to anything. As far as I know, you just made all that stuff up. Hey there, Megan. I was wondering, could we talk one of these days? I tried to visit your hospital room earlier, but they said you were refusing visitors.
Not visitors, just you specifically. I'm afraid that being in your presence would be bad for my mental health. You'll just have to wait until I get healthy enough to be released from the hospital.
Visitors? Really, though? All you did was break your leg. I don't see what your mental health has to do with that.
The literature is very clear on this, you know. Mental health is extremely important for recovering from any sort of injury or illness. Stress is bad for the body.
Hey, I guess I understand, but I wish you'd give me a chance to apologize properly.
Looks like your boss finally called you in for that little conversation, huh? I tried to tell you I wasn't bluffing.
They're gonna fire me for sure. It's only a matter of time, which means I have to move as quickly as possible to save my job.
James, you lied to your company in order to get them to pay for a vacation with your mistress, who is also your subordinate. What exactly do you think you can do to avoid getting fired at this point? That's basically a one-way ticket to the unemployment line, even if you weren't an abysmal employee before that.
And I am so sorry for what I did. I was a total moron. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make things right with you. Don't you think we can start over? Try again?
Well, this is a change of heart for you. You don't want to get divorced anymore?
Again? I've been doing some serious soul searching over the last few days, and now I realize that there is no other woman in the world who I'd rather be with than you. You've always been great to my parents, and they love you too. You're a terrific housewife. You're a great cook. You're everything I could ask for in a wife. I may have been confused for a while, but I realize that now.
If only you could have realized that before cheating on me and embezzling company money.
I swear, Megan, I learned my lesson. I'll never do anything to hurt you ever again. What do I need to do to prove myself to you? You name it, I'll do it. You want me to do more of the housework? Done. The next time I go out of town, I'll pack my own suitcase. Oh, and I'll even start going to visit my parents with you.
You're far too late to make amends. You're not the only one who's been doing some soul searching. I've been doing that ever since I got suspicious that you were cheating on me. I thought back to when we were dating and at the beginning of our marriage. You used to be the most caring and loving man I'd ever met.
I can be that man again, Megan, if you'll just give me one more chance.
No, James, you don't get any more chances. After the way you've been treating me since I got hurt, I have completely lost any feelings I once had for you. Honestly, this has been a long time coming. Even before that woman hired the private detective for me, I knew deep down that this is how things would end. I was already at peace with leaving you.
No! I don't want to get divorced!
Yeah, I don't imagine you do, now that you realize you're losing everything. But that's not about you rediscovering your love for me, that's just fear of repercussions.
No, it's not, I swear! When the CEO called me to his office to tell me I was fired, he went on and on about how stupid I was to betray you. He said that only a complete idiot would betray a woman as beautiful, kind, and intelligent as you. And that was what really opened my eyes. I was a complete idiot.
Really? You only remembered what a catch I was because your boss complimented me? If anything, that only makes me want to divorce you even more.
So you really don't have any feelings for me anymore? None at all? You said it yourself, though. You remember how things used to be. That has to mean that there's still something there. We've had lots of good times, haven't we?
Oh, for sure we have. But those good times are all in the past. So much so that I don't even know what our last good time was. You've been treating me like a live-in maid for as long as I can remember. You were a good man and you were a good husband, and that's why I've been putting up with your behavior for as long as I have. But I can't do it anymore. Like, do you remember what the very first message you sent to me after I got to the hospital was? You were complaining about having to do your own chores, like packing your suitcase for your fake business trip. You weren't concerned about me in the slightest.
I told you, I'm sorry about that.
But the icing on the cake was when you told me that you wished I got hit by a car instead. After you said that, I knew there was no point in me trying to make this work anymore. There's nothing about being with you that makes it worth dealing with your appalling lack of empathy.
I was an idiot, Megan! A jerk, a scumbag, a slime ball! The lowest of the low! I hurt you terribly, and I regret everything I did more than you could possibly know!
I don't believe you. I have no reason to believe you. You don't have a sincere bone in your body.
I'm begging you, please give me just one more chance. From now on, I'm gonna be the kind of husband that you deserve. I'll make you even happier than you were back when we first got married. And not to mention, think about it. Do you really want to become single again at your age? Your marriage prospects are getting thinner by the day. Plus, you only work part-time. How are you gonna support yourself?
Oh, you don't need to worry about that at all. In addition to the money and the private detective, that woman also got me a job at a company one of her friends owns. We had an interview web meeting the other day, and they say I am perfect for the job. So the very day I get released, I'm gonna start working there.
You what? You had an interview and accepted a job offer without even telling me? You had no right to do that!
Yes I do.
No, you don't! I'm still your husband, Megan, and as your husband, you have a duty to consult with me before making these kinds of decisions. We might be talking about divorce, but we're not divorced yet.
Are you kidding me? Who was it who first brought up the divorce? It was you! You called me useless and said you wanted to divorce me before I got released from the hospital so you could avoid dealing with me. You have no right to be a party to any decision I make anymore.
Well, sure, I may have said something to that effect, but circumstances have changed. I don't want to get divorced anymore.
Oh, for the love of... Grow up, James! Seriously, you're acting like a little kid right now. We're through. I'm not even the slightest bit interested in anything you have to say regarding how I live my life.
More? Oh, so you're just gonna abandon me? Don't you care about what happens to me now?
No! I don't care what happens to a cheating, lying, uncaring, unfeeling loser like you. You said you were going to fire me as your wife because I couldn't do your chores for you, right? Well, that's what I'm going to do to you now. James, you're fired. James kept messaging me, trying to get me to take him back after that, so I told him to talk to my lawyer and blocked his number. He fought the divorce at first, but that didn't last long after my new friend got involved. Her son, James's boss, told him that unless he consented to a peaceful divorce, the company would sue him and press charges against him for embezzlement. James naturally accepted the deal and escaped criminal responsibility. Both he and his mistress were, however, terminated for stealing company funds. He and his mistress moved in together for a short time, but they soon broke up. I have no idea where they are or what they're doing now. As for me, my leg is healed and I have a great new job, a great new friend, and life has never been better. James said I didn't get anything out of stopping that thief, but wow, was he wrong. I barely ever think about him anymore. He's absolutely nothing to me now. From now on, I'm living life on my own terms.